Hi, welcome back. Good evening. Tonight we're going to go through Methodist Girls School Prelim 2022 for E-Math Paper 1. I'm going to get this up tonight and then hopefully along the weekend I will do Hua-Yi Paper 2. Maybe on Tuesday, Methodist Girls Paper 2. Because the E-Math Paper 1 for O-Levels will be this Monday and next Thursday should be the Paper 2. So all the best for all the students taking the O-Levels. But let's go through this prelim paper. So, first question, arrange the following numbers from the smallest to biggest. So, we look at the negative numbers first. Negative root 17 is the smallest because 4 is the square root of 16. So, negative 4 after that. Then we have the positive numbers. Pi is about 3.14. So, 2/3 of that is 2.1 something, 2.0 something. Yeah, 2.0 something, which is less than both of these. So, that's in the middle. 227% is actually 2.27 exactly. And finally, this dot on top of the 3 actually means 2.333333 as a recurring decimal, which is actually 7/3, which is definitely bigger than 2.27. So that will be the biggest number. Okay. Question 2. Mark price of washing machine is $M. During the Great Singapore Sale, it was sold at a discount of D%. What's the selling price? Okay, so if you have a discount of D%, then the remaining is 100 minus D, right? But to get rid of the 100%, you need to divide by another 100. So it's 100 minus D divided by 100 times M. Okay. The shopkeeper makes a profit of 25% from the sale. This is assuming this selling price that we just found in part A. Express the cost price as a single fraction. So make a profit of 25% means that your total revenue is so that is not accounting for the cost, is 125%. So you times 125% first. Sorry, no. What should I say? How should I explain this? You have it's 125% of your cost price. So you divide by 125%. Okay. And 125% is actually 1.25, so this is divided by 5/4. So this is the same thing as 100 minus D divided by 100M times 4/5, which should be simple enough to simplify. Because 4 divided by 100 is 25, then this one times 5 is 125. So 100 minus D divided by 125 M. So that will be your price. 100 minus D divided by 125 times M. Okay? Factorize this completely. Okay. So the most obvious one we see first is the x squared, right? So we do 4p plus 12k x squared minus, we'll put the p and the 3k first. So we'll bracket this and put p plus 3k. Okay? So then we notice that this is actually, notice that this is 4 times of p plus 3k. So we can actually factor out the p plus 3k. And then this is 4x squared minus 1. So this is actually p plus 3k, and then difference of two squares, 2x minus 1 times 2x plus 1. So there's actually 3 factors. P plus 3k, 2x minus 1, and 2x plus 1. Okay? Solve this equation. Okay. Let's multiply throughout by the lowest common denominator, the lowest common factor rather, so that we get nice numbers. So the lowest common factor of, lowest common multiple. Lowest common multiple of 4 and 6 is 12. So multiply by, just multiply by 12. So you'll get 3x minus 4 minus 2, 2x minus 1 equals to 12. Expand. 3x minus 12 minus 4x plus 2 equals to 12. And then you get 24, 22. Okay, so you get minus x equals to 22. So x is negative 22. Okay, let's see. Hopefully this is correct. These are the kinds of things you can check. Yep, okay, this is good. Question 5, you have this. Given the prime factorizations of these two numbers, find the greatest integer that divides P and Q exactly. So, as I did with the Hawaii paper earlier this morning, we write all the powers out. This is 5 power 0, and this is 11 power 1. And Q is 2 power 1 times 3 squared times 5 power 1 times 11 power 1. To get the greatest common factor, you take the smaller power from each of the prime factors. So that's this one. This one doesn't matter. This one and this one doesn't matter also. So it's just 2 times 9 times 11, which is 198. Okay. A number is exactly 9 factors. 2 of them are 12 and 18. List all the factors on the number. Okay. So I know 12 is 2 squared times 3, and I know 18 is 2 times 3 squared. Okay. You can also list out all the factors. So that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And that will be 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12. No, not 12, sorry, 18. Okay. Then you'll notice that there are some common factors. So like 1, 2, and 3 are all common. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different factors already. So actually you notice that you just need one more. And if you think about it, what's the lowest common multiple of 12 and 18? It's actually 36. So that's the last factor. And in fact, 9 factors is an odd number. Most numbers have an even number of prime factor, has an even number of factors if you think about it. But perfect squares have an odd number of factors. So we know we're looking for a perfect square. We know 36 is a perfect square, so we know that the number is 36. So we shall list down all the factors of 36, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, 18, and 36. Okay. List all the elements in A intersect E. So that's all the prime numbers, and okay, E is a finite set of some sort. So which one is the prime number? So it's 2, 3, 5, and 7, right? Okay. So 2, 3, 5, 7. Yeah. Explain why C intersect B complement is the empty set. Well, B is a set of all rational numbers, so the B complement will be the irrational numbers. Okay. So C is all integers. So it's very simple. B prime is the set of irrational numbers. Definition of rational number. For those of us who are not aware what's the definition of a rational number, can be written as A over B for integers A and B is not 0. By this definition, all integers are rational numbers. No irrational numbers. There's no such thing as an irrational integer, basically. Okay? Which of the following statements is or are correct? C is a proper subset of B. Yes, that is correct. So statements 1 is the correct. A union C is just A. That is clearly not true, because A union C includes elements from A and C, but clearly all prime numbers are not all integers. A intersect D is the null set. Okay. That's true. We don't define negative numbers to be prime. C intersect D is the null set. All integers and all negative numbers. Well, that's clearly false because negative numbers are all integers, right? Sorry, I should say not all, but there are negative numbers like -1, -2, which are integers, whereas -2.5 is not an integer, but it doesn't mean that it is the null set. So actually it's just statements 1 and 3, I think. Okay. Given the following, express h in terms of k and w. So when we see a square root, we always square both sides first. So h square k minus 3 divided by 5w equals to 4h squared. Okay. So let's bring the h squared terms together. So I'll get kh squared minus 3. So I multiply both sides by 5w and I rearrange the terms so that I get 20h squared. So that I get k minus 20. I can actually see that both of them have a h squared attached to it. Then I equate this to be positive 3. So therefore h is the square root of, plus minus the square root of actually, 3 divided by k minus 20. Okay. Okay, cool. Given that n is a positive integer, explain whether this is divisible by 7. Okay. 7n plus 3 square minus 4 square. Let's expand 7n. Let's expand this. So this is 49n square plus 2 times this times that. So 42n plus 9 minus 4 square is 16. This is 49n square plus 42n plus, minus 7. And I think you can see where this is going. You can factor out a 7 here. So this is 7n square plus 6n minus 1. Did someone ping me on Discord? And this actually happens to factorize. This factorizes into 7n minus 1n plus 1, I think. That's it? Yeah, it factorizes. Very cool. I don't think the factorization step here is necessary. The step above already establishes it, but just to be concise or clear, I suppose. So, therefore, since 7 is a factor, then 7n plus 3 square minus 4 square is divisible by 7. Alright, cool. Question 9. Okay, statistics. What is a feature that may be misleading? So there's always a few common answers, and in this case we see that the vertical axis is actually not consistent. Okay, we see 0 to 150, but then 150 to 175, 175 to 100. Okay, so scale of vertical axis is not consistent. Explain how this may lead to misinterpretation. Well, you compare the monthly sales. You see that January to February, it may seem like it is actually a $25,000 increase because of the rest of it, but actually it's a $150,000 increase. So between 0 and 150,000, or what? No, actually it's 150,000. Okay. May think that the increase from January to February is only 25,000 due to the scale of the remaining part of the graph, right? Okay, So let me read that for you. Between $0 and $150,000, reader may think that the increase from January to February is only $25,000 due to the scale of the remaining part of the graph. So you can see that it's $150,000 increase, but this one's only 25,000, 25,000, yeah, so on. Okay. In this diagram, the line L cuts the y-axis at A015 and the x-axis is BH0. Tangent theta is 5/2. What is the value of h? Okay, so tangent theta is opposite over adjacent. So the opposite is opposite over adjacent. Relative to theta, this is the opposite and the other side is the adjacent, right? So this is actually equals to 15 over h. Okay, and this is 5/2. So what h is this? H is actually 6. Minus 6, sorry, because it's a negative side. Okay, so yeah. What I should say is, how should I explain it? Oh, maybe I should put a minus h here. Okay, can. The equation line L. So rise over run, the gradient of a line is rise over run, but you notice tangent theta is actually also rise over run, right? So the gradient of the line is also 5/2. Then the vertical intercept is 15, so actually the equation is just y equals to 5/2x plus 15. Okay, the coordinates of the point C is -6 and 21. Okay, calculate the length of AC, very standard. So apply the length formula, square root of, so let's pick C first. So -6 minus 0 square plus 21 minus 15 square, right? Okay. And this is square root of 72. But this is E-math, so we always leave our answers in 3SF if it's not exact. So this is 8.49, 3SF. Okay. If it was A-math, you would probably leave the answer as 6√2. Yeah. ABCD is a trapezium. Find the coordinates of possible point D. Okay, there's only one mark, so we just need to look here. By observation, C is actually going to be somewhere here, right? So actually you notice that C is somewhere here. So because H is -6, so this is actually -6 and 21. And this lies directly above B, if you notice. This is a right angle. So this is parallel, this is parallel, and a trapezium has a pair of parallel sides, right? So actually we just need to pick any point above A, directly above A. Okay? So any of such points will form a trapezium, and strictly speaking, they might say that if you pick the value of 36, then you get a parallelogram, but all parallelograms are technically trapeziums. So actually the only requirement is you pick any number, your x is 0, and for your y, you pick any number bigger than 15. So I'll just put 16. Okay? You can put any number bigger than 15, even 36, because 36 is a parallelogram, but technically still considered trapezium. Solve the inequality. Okay, there's a standard approach to this. So we split the inequality in two and solve them separately. So let's multiply by 2 on this side. -10 is less than or equals to 3 plus 5x. And we'll do the multiplication on this side also. So 3 plus 5x is less than 14 plus 2x. Okay. So we get 5x is greater than or equals to -13. And 5x, okay, and we will bring everything to this side. So -11 plus 3x is less than 0. So x is greater than or equals to -13/5. And 3x minus 11 is less than 0. So 3x is less than 11. So x is less than 11/3. Okay, so we get -13/5 less than or equals to x less than 11/3. Okay, illustrate the solutions of the inequality on the number line. So one of them will be a shaded circle, the other one will be hollow. So this will be like that. So this will be x. This is negative 13 over 5, and this is 11 over 3. You do not need to label any intermediate values. You just leave it like that. Find the smallest integer value of x which satisfies the inequality. Well, negative 13 over 5 is negative 2.6, so you go to the right, it will be negative 2. Given this, find the value of n. Okay, so 2 to the power of 2022 minus 2 to the power of 2021, sorry, you'll actually notice that 2 to the power of 22 is 2 to the power of, 2 to the power of 2022 is 2 to the power of 2021 times 2. So this is actually 3 times of actually no, how should I approach this? Okay, never mind. We'll continue with this. So we get 3 times 2 to the power of 2021. Oh, no, it's just 2 to the power of 2021. Because this is 2 minus 1. Okay, 2 to the power of 2021. Okay, equals 2n minus 3. They're the same base now, so 2n minus 3 is 2021. So n is 1012. How many more people live in Vietnam than Singapore? So this is, so when you want to convert, you want to always convert to, now we can see that this is 10 power 7 and this is 10 power 6, so the final result will still be 10 power 7. So what I will do is convert 5.4 times 10 power 6 to 10 power 7, which is 0.54 times 10 power 7, okay, which gives me 9.26 times 10 power 7. And if you want, you can write this as 9.3 times 10 power 7 to 2SF, because the table gives information in 2SF. Although I will be inclined to think they will accept 9.26 because 3SF is quite standard. The land area of this, calculate the average number of people living per square kilometer. For this, I will use the exact 9.26. So people living per square kilometer. So that is the 9.26 times 10 power 7 divided by 331690. Okay. And this one should be living in 3SF. So this is 279 3SF. Okay. Select a possible equation from the box to represent each of the sketch graphs. Okay, so we have a quadratic one to start, and it's a U, it's a happy face. So we want a positive one, so let's pick y equals to x squared minus 2. Second graph is inverse, it's like a 1 over x graph. So let's pick xy equals 2, that's y equals to 2 over x, which is possible. And the last curve is a cubic one. So we can choose, and it's decreasing, we'll choose y equals to 2 minus x cubed. Okay. The diagram shows a regular octagon and a regular pentagon. Find angle PBE. Okay. So that is just the interior angle of a polygon is 5 minus, the total number is 5 minus 2 times 180 degrees divided by 5. So this is the interior angle of a pentagon, right? So this will be 180 degrees. Okay. Find angle PBC. Okay. So we need to find the it'd be good to know what this angle is. And it turns out that ABE is a right angle. Okay. Do we need to prove that? If not right, then we'll just say that ABE is the right angle. So angle PABC, angle ABC equals to 8 minus 2 times 180 degrees divided by 8, which is 135. Then angle EBC equals 135 degrees minus 90 degrees, which is 45 degrees. And then PBC is 180 degrees minus 45 degrees. The question did not really ask for proof of every step, so I think this is fine. 63. You can go ahead and prove that it's a right angle if you want as an exercise, but I don't think it's necessary. There's only 2 marks, and they didn't ask for reasons. Is BE parallel to CD? Okay, this one. They should be, but how would you explain that? Probably something about interior angles. Or interior angles are equal. Oh, actually, BCD is 135 degrees, right? So BE, so angle EBC, angle EBC plus angle BCD equals 180 degrees. So they are interior angles. Therefore, BE is parallel to CD. Okay, I think that will be it. The heights of 20 students were measured. Stem and leaf diagram. What's the median? So 20, right? So you take the middle 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you take 10 and 11. So that will be 1, 5. So how to read a stem and leaf diagram, they always tell you, even though I think we're mostly used to it by now. Actually, no, let me write that down at the bottom. So that will be 156 plus 160 divided by 2, and that's 158. Okay. What is a more appropriate measure of central tendency, median or mean? Okay. You'll notice there's an outlier, 205. So we'll choose the median, right? Mean would include outlier of 205 cm, which leads to a skewed distribution. Okay. Question 17. Diagram shows the parallelogram ABCD. We have all the straight lines and they bisect angles. Proof that these two triangles are congruent, PAD and RCB. Okay. Well, I know that AD and CB are equal because they are opposite sides of a parallelogram. Okay. What else do I have? If I have one side, I probably need 2 angles. Well, these 2 angles are equal because they are opposite angles of a parallelogram. And because they all bisect, this angle and that angle will also be the same. Okay. So let's say angle DAB equals to angle BCD because of opposite angles of parallelogram. Okay. And then also angle ABC equals to angle CDA for the same reason. And since APS bisects and bisects, okay, APS CRQ, APS bisects angle DAB, and CRQ, is it? Yeah, CRQ bisects BCD. Therefore, angle, I think it is PAD and RCB lah. Okay. Therefore, angle PAD equals to angle RCB. Oh, this is a bit of a demanding question. So for the same reasons, BRS and DPQ. So BRS and DPQ. This bisects and this bisects. Angle ABC and CDA. So therefore, angle ADP equals to angle CBR. Yeah. Okay, CBR. Okay. Therefore, triangle PAD is congruent to triangle RCB by AAS congruence. Quite a demanding question for 3 marks, but still, I think, okay. Question 18. Cash price of a motorcycle is $18,000. Mr. Lim made the down payment 40% on the cash price, took a loan on the balance amount, charged simple interest of R% per annum. Simple interest, by the way. 30 equal monthly installments, that's 2.5 years. Because 30 divided by 12. Mr. Lim paid a total of $20,025. Okay, so the interest paid will actually be the total you pay at the end minus the original price, which is 2025. Okay, so principal, loan will be the original, the total price times the what that you didn't pay for the down payment, which is 60%. So this is 10,800. Okay, so you generate a total of 2,025 interest. So simple interest of R% per annum, so that's 2.5 R. So how do I explain this? Oh yes, so the interest per annum, actually no. The total interest percentage will be 2,025 divided by 10,800, which is 3/16, and it is actually also 2.5 R. Okay, so you can solve for R, which is actually no, this is R of 100 because percent. So R is this times divided by 2.5 times 100, which is 7.5. Okay, so you will get 7.5%. Find the value of R, not R%. Okay, calculate the monthly installment. So 30 equal monthly installments. So you're paying a total back of, the total amount you pay back will be paid back, okay? Total paid back will be 10,800 plus the interest you pay, 2025. This is 12,825. Okay. So monthly will be this divided by 30. Which is $427.50. Put it into DP. Okay. The terms T1, T2, T3, T4 of a sequence are given as follows. Write down the next term T5. Okay. So term 5, so we see that it's like a product of the two consecutive numbers. So we see T5 is 1 over 5 times 7, which is 1 over 35. Okay. Write down the nth term in terms of n. We see 4 times 6, 3 times 5, 2 times 4, 1 times 3. So it seems to be Tn is 1 over n times n plus 2, right? Find the exact value of this. Okay. Wow. That looks a bit mean, but I'm sure there's a trick to it. So 135. So we actually see that we can actually write this as a difference. And we can write this as a difference 2 times 4 and 2 times 6. Which implies that actually T5, we can actually write this as a difference also. This must be the same as 1 over, we can actually write this as 2 times 5 minus 1 over 2 times 7. Okay, and in fact, we call this thing partial fractions. It's something that your AMF students will learn, but it's tested in a bit interesting way here, called method of difference. So we see that actually T1, T3, T5, we will get rid of the 1 over 2 times 3. We will also get rid of the 1 over 2 times 5. So actually get rid of every fraction. So let me write down what this is. So this is 1 over 2 times 1, 2 times 3, right? So this is plus 1 over 2 times 3 minus 1 over 2 times 5 plus 1 over 2 times 5. Should make that look more like a times symbol. Minus 1 over 2 times 7 dot 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 plus 99. So the 99 one will be 2 times 99 minus 1 times 2 times, sorry, 1 over 2 times 101. Okay. Okay. So we see that this cancels, these terms will all cancel, this will cancel as well. So actually this is 1 over 2 plus, sorry, minus, actually I should write it as 1 over 2 times 1. Minus, no, I don't want to print. 1 over 2 times 1 minus 1 over 2 times 101. Okay. And this is 50 over 101. Okay. The braking distance is directly proportional to the square of the speed. When the speed is p meters, the braking distance is 8 meters. The speed is increased by 200%. So remember, an increase of 100% means that you multiply by 2. The new speed is 200% more, so that's a 300% of the original. So that is actually 3p. Find the braking distance. Okay. I don't really like the working for direct inverse proportion usually, but it's directly proportional to the square of the speed, meaning to say that if I take the speed, new speed, how do I say this? Let me write, so that is to say, first of all, there exists a real number k such that d equals to kv squared. That is the definition of direct proportion. So we know that 8 is equals to kp square. So d1, the new breaking distance, is equals to k 3p square equals to 9kp square, which is, well, 72. Because we know kp square is 8, so the breaking distance must be 72 meters. Find the percentage increase. Okay, percentage increase means we must take the new minus the original, divide by the original, times 100%, which is 800%. Because 72 minus 8 is 64, which is exactly, divided by 8 is exactly 8, so it's 800% increase. The diagram shows this circle center O, cosine OBA. Okay. So cosine of an obtuse angle is negative always, but cosine OBD, so what is the hypotenuse actually? So OB is the square of 8 square plus, oh wait, how should I say this? No, because you need to be careful because this BC is 10, but BD is not. BD is like, how do I explain this? C is the midpoint of BE, okay? So that is to say that, so I can say CE equals to BC equals to 10 cm, and CD equals to DE, because perpendicular bisector of chord passes through center of circle, right? So that must mean that CD and DE are the same, so they must be 5 cm. I don't really think you need to give the reasons, but just take note. Therefore, BD equals to 15 cm. So cosine angle OBD is adjacent over hypotenuse, which is 15 over 8, is it? Yeah. No, wait, sorry. 15 over square root 15 square plus 8 square, which is 15 square plus 8 square. This is a famous Pythagoras triple. It's actually 17 exactly. So therefore, cosine angle OBA is the negative of that because it's an obtuse angle. That's a lot of working for 2 marks. Show that angle DOE is this. Okay. DOE. Okay. Well, I can actually find tangent DOE because this is a right angle triangle and this is 5, right? So I can write down tangent angle DOE equals to opposite over adjacent, which is 5 over 8. Then it should just be, yeah. Then you just take the tangent inverse of this. Just make sure your calculator is in radian mode, then you should be fine already. Okay, so angle DOE is 0.5585993, which is 0.5586 for SF. Okay. Hence find the area of the shaded region. Okay. It's a major segment. We have an area of triangle plus major sector. So they asked us to find 4SF is supposed to help us later because we want a greater accuracy to find the area of a sector. Okay, so major sector is what, COE, is it? Yeah, I think so. COE is half r squared theta. Oh, it's not 8, sorry. It's half r squared is 8 squared plus 5 squared. So let me put 8 squared plus 5 squared, which is r squared, so we don't need to do a square root. Okay, and then theta is actually 2 pi minus 2 angle DOE, right? And then you can work out what this is. This is 229.89 5SF. And what about the triangle COE? This one easy, half times base times height. Okay. Triangle COE equals to half times base, which is 10, times height, which is 8, which is 40. Total will be 269.89, which is 273 SF. Okay. The diagram shows the speed time graph. Given the deceleration at 1400 hours is 100 km per square hour, calculate the maximum speed. Okay. So when you see a gradient line on a speed time graph, straight line, speed time graph, it means the acceleration or deceleration is actually a constant. So that's the gradient. So it's between 1345 and 1430, right? So that is actually the so total time. So time between 1345 and 1430 is actually 3/4 of an hour. So decrease in speed will be actually 100 times 3/4, which is 75. And in fact, that means V is also 75, right? Because it's the highest point. From 1330 to 1345 was a constant. So 75. Calculate the total distance traveled. So it's the area under the graph. So it is half. So let's write down the hours. This is half hour, this is quarter hour, and this is 3/4 hour. Okay? So it is actually, in fact, I can actually write this as a trapezium, right? So this is the total time taken was 3.5 hours. Not 3.5, but 3/2 hours. 1.5, I should say. Okay. So the total area will be half times the sum of parallel sides. So that is a quarter plus 3/2 times the height, which is 75. Okay. Then you can find the total distance. Which is 525/8 km, which if you want you can write it in decimals, 65.625 km. And you can leave it as this exact because it is an exact answer. You don't need to round up to 65.6. Although I think they will mark you correct even if you put 65.6. On the grid, sketch the distance time graph. Okay. So we can calculate the individual distances traveled. So this is half and this is 75. So this is 37.5. Then this is the quarter, 75. So this is actually 18.75, I think. Oh wait, no. These two have the same area. Did I forget to take out the half? I think so. Yeah, this is also 18.75. And this here was 3/4 hours, so this one is times 3/2. I prefer my TI-84. Where's my TI-84? 28 point... yeah, 28.1125. Okay, which makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So we can actually see that the gradient here is positive, which means that when you get the distance, it's actually increasing. So let me put the numbers in at like a kind of try to draw it to scale, if possible. Although when you put in the indicators, it doesn't really matter. because what you're looking at is yeah. So you try and draw the thing curving upwards. This is 18.75. And then you draw this being a straight segment. This is 37.5. And then the top part is the 65.625. Okay, and then the gradient is decreasing above just now. So for this part, you want to draw it slowing down until you reach that point. So something like, that's a bit too much. So something like that. Okay, yeah. So there's a bit of curvature on both ends. Maybe I'll make the curve a bit more obvious on this one. And the middle part is a straight line. I'll try and make the curve a bit more obvious. Should start at 0, but I can't get it because you know I'm on a digital pen. Okay, never mind. You get the idea. Okay. Alright, this I think is the last question, but I do not have constructions obviously. The bearing of y from z. Okay, so for this one you just draw the north line and then you measure. So you draw a line that's parallel to the north that they give you, which is something like, I don't know. How do I... Can I? I can't draw a straight line the same way I can on Microsoft Whiteboard. It's a bit annoying. But basically you take this as the north line and you measure this angle. That is the bearing of y from z. On the diagram, using compasses, construct the bisector of angles zxy. Okay, zxy, to construct an angle bisector, you put your compass on x, then you draw two equal distance. Then you put your compass needle on each of those points, then you draw an arc. So it will look something like this. And then on this side, you do the same thing. Oh, and the two arcs have to be big enough so that they intersect. So it will look something like, I don't know, like that. Okay, and then on the other side, make sure that you push out to the same distance, so it will be somewhere here. Yeah. Okay. No. Something more like that. Okay. And then the intersection point, wherever it is, that will be the angle bisector. So you can draw the line through it. Okay, there you go. Bisector of angle XYZ. So you repeat the same process. Just imagine that I have a compass. Okay. Nope. Very difficult without the compass. Seriously. Now, when you're drawing a compass, you'll actually be spacing out a bit more because your compass needle isn't that close, but you know, for demonstration purpose. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Then you just draw the line through here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And I think we'll need to join the two lines, so let's do that. Okay. A circular playground is to be built inside a triangular part XYZ. Construct a circle touching the three sides. So one of the observations actually is that this point here will be equidistant from this point is equidistant from all three sides. And you can actually draw the angle bisector of this if you want. And in fact, it will also pass through this line. Yeah. This is actually what we call, constructing these angle bisectors is actually what we call locating the in circle of a triangle. So actually what you do is you put your compass needle on this intersection point. You put it so that you get the thing to be, you put the pencil on the side so that it's just far enough outside. So pick this point and then pick another point. So it will look something like, if you do it well, it will look better than this, but essentially you draw a circle by using the intersection point of the two bisectors as a as the center. Okay, and if you do it well, you will get a nice circle, and the center will be there. So once again, this is called the incircle, and constructing angle bisectors is one of the ways to locate the center of the incircle. Very difficult. Something like that, okay? I know the center is really not inside, but you get the idea. Okay. A circular, okay, find the greatest possible area. Okay, so this one how I explain this is, measure radius, and then scale is 1 to 5,000. So this is 1 cm to 5,000 cm, which is 50 meters. Okay. So measure the radius, then you use pi r square, where measure radius r, where actually I should use pi d squared. Okay, pi d, where d meter equals to d meters is 1 cm is 15 meters, so it's actually 50. One cm is 50 meters. How do I explain this? Where I think you guys get the idea also lah. But d equals to 50r. Yeah. Okay. And I think the answer scheme for this was 2.3 or 2.4 actually. Sorry. The answer scheme say the answer is 2.4 for this part. So 2.4 cm. So you take that times 50, then you square that, then you multiply by pi, then you will get equals to 45239. Okay, this one is the nearest square meter. Okay. Okay, so that will be it for Methodist Girls, paper 1. Hopefully I will get paper 2 up. I'll get Hawaii paper 2 probably up this weekend, and Methodist Girls on Tuesday because I have my A-level physics practical on Monday. I won't be able to get it up on then definitely. Yeah, but all the best for those taking the O-level E-Math paper 1 on Monday, and I'll see you guys next time.